Oh, really? Okay.
So we're
Getting ready for North Korea.
yeah.
My brother called me about that too the other day because he's in the Navy, and he's like, yeah, we've been having a bunch of meetings lately about going over to North Korea and stuff like that. He says they're looking
Wow, this has been brewing for a long time.
yeah,
Doesn't matter which administration's in office. This has been an ongoing problem that ever since Kim Jong-un took over,
that was the dad,
Kim
right?
Jong-un, his spoiled little bright little fucking son.
Oh, okay, so he's the son.
That little
All right.
prick was educated at our universities here.
Really?
Yeah. That was spoon-fed little fuckface. Somebody needs to take his ass out. Because this has been brewing a long time. He's a psychopath. And he's doing this on purpose to try to get incentives. And
Right.
nobody's giving him anything anymore. Nobody's giving them money or resources. So now this is how you lash out. Kind of like a dog that hasn't been trained.
Right. Yeah, I've been doing a bit on it. I'm excited to work on it some more tonight.
Didn't he have his? I heard he had his brother assassinated, right?
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just yeah.
I'm gonna leave you guys to it.
Okay.
All right. See you. Drive safe, man. Yeah, that would be crazy. You you want powers so bad that you have to assassinate your own brother.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's pretty bad, dude. Like, it's gonna get messy. This could be a messy war. Oof.
Yeah. Bomb their little playground. So how are you guys doing today? The
Good, how
drive
are you?
over here. I'm doing well. I'm glad you guys came today. Yeah, we got to do this. We had to do some stuff earlier, so that's why we were a little late today too. But yeah, no, we're here today with Frankie P, local comedian, and megastar Chris Fonseca. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm Darren Closet Guy Chadwick, and we are here today to talk about the NFL draft. Isn't that right, Frankie?
That's
or
right.
It's just football in general, right?
Well, the NFL draft is coming up, and it's always intriguing at this time of year because, each team, they always say each team is like one or two players away of being a contender in the playoffs if they haven't made the playoffs the previous year.
Yeah.
So the draft is kind of like a way of figuring that out. I always look at the draft as they find players to develop into a position that they're where their strength is, but
Where their team's going to be more successful the
Right.
next season, yeah.
it's based on numbers. You're looking for young guys, 20, 21-year-old guys out of college that are fast, they're strong, and they're hungry.
Yeah.
And they don't murder people.
yeah.
That's a start. We don't want them murdering. We don't want them to murder people.
That's why we keep them in football. Those guys are aggressive. But do you know anything about which teams are going to go first? Who has the biggest budget? Anything like that?
So the biggest salary cap is the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I think what are they? They're sitting at $160 million in cap space.
Wow.
Something crazy like that.
That's
I
so
mean-
much money. This is ridiculous.
Well, the thing is they don't have a lot of players. They don't need to pay anybody. They don't
Yeah.
have anybody. They don't have anybody good. Who are they going to pay? Some no-name guy, a $30 million contract.
Right.
I think Brock Osweiler is the biggest name they have on the team.
Wait, is Osweiler going to the Browns now? Is he a part of the Browns?
Yeah.
He was traded in the offseason because not only was his playing abilities at the Houston Texans. Apparently, he got into a shoving match with the head coach.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I did hear about that.
So the spoiled little prick got sent over to another team because this is the NFL. Okay, if the coach is telling you, "Hey, look, you got to step it up," and you get into a shoving match with him because you can't play the game, you don't understand the playbook, or you're not throwing the ball. It's not their fault. It's yours. You have to develop as a player. You have to want it. And he had 4 years behind Peyton Manning, and he still cannot get the job done. And it's maybe the Texans coaching,
didn't fit him well.
maybe it wasn't a fit for him. But a good football player. Look at Drew Brees. He goes.
Okay.
He was successful at the Chargers, and he wins a Super Bowl with the Saints. What does that tell you? It tells you that his ability to adapt to a team because he's a good player. Osweiler is just not good. He's not worth $16 million a year.
God, no.
He's worth $500,000 a year as a backup plan.
Yeah.
And that's just a backup.
Unicorn Frappuccino.
A unicorn frappuccino.
Would that up his football abilities at all?
It would.
Yeah, definitely. with the unicorn blood in there. Just give you magical powers.
I mean, the salary cap in the NFL is huge.
Yeah.
That determines how much they can spend per year on players. They have a 53-man roster, and that includes their. I was going to pull that up here on my phone, but it also includes their draft prospects, right?
Yeah.
Each team's going to have 5 to 8 different players that they're going to draft. You got your first round pick, you got your second round pick, you got your third round pick, so on and so on and so on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But each 32 teams, they have, they take their players. So like you'll hear a guy like Tom Brady, he was drafted number 6, 200 overall? Was that what it was, Chris?
Me.
Drafted number 6, 200 overall. That means out of 200 people, he was taken in the 6th round.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT. There's just no way around that. He's the best. He's probably going to go down as one of the best quarterbacks ever. One of the best. I'm not saying the best. But he's going to be one of the best.
Yeah.
And he was drafted in number 6. Just because you're drafted in the first round does not make you a great player. You have to develop, and that's what these teams look for.
Yeah. In your ability to go to a team and work with them and have them help you work on your abilities and then just build.
Do you fit their system?
Yeah.
That's what this is all about. Are these players going to fit the system of that team? And this is, and that's, I guess today we're going to talk about, I was looking at the Denver Broncos and, I'm a huge Denver Bronco fan, but
I am as well. Born and raised Bronco
I should
fan,
have worn
yeah.
my Bronco gear. I didn't wear my Bronco gear, but I will tell you this. We have a first round. Everybody's saying the Broncos. Who you going to think they're going to take in the first round? Everybody's saying Christian McCaffrey. Let's start with that. Christian McCaffrey.
Is that Ed McCaffrey?
Yes.
Okay. So, and then what position is he?
Running back / kick returner, right?
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Or he could play slot receiver, they said.
Is he? Have you seen him play? Is he fairly
Oh, he's
fast?
fantastic.
Oh,
He's got
okay.
quick feet, good feet, fast.
What school is he coming out of?
No, Stanford. I'm sorry.
Stanford.
Stanford.
Oh, okay. Is that where McCaffrey went too, or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and John Elway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So John Elway, they all went there, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously he's a smart kid. You have to be smart to get on that school.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be a dummy to go to
That's
Stanford.
why Frankie didn't go there.
That's why I didn't go there.
I didn't get accepted. I didn't even get accepted in community college.
Yeah.
I got a 12 on my ACTs,
Yeah.
but my girlfriend said that you get a 10 for scoring your name or writing your name down. So it is what it is.
I got a 19, so I don't think. I didn't really do much better. So I was looking up some things today. What do you call it? I'm a big football fan when football season's around, but I always forget things, and I don't start paying attention until the season actually starts to happen. But I was looking on ESPN, and they were talking about wide receivers. Do you know anything about Mike Williams, Corey Davis, or John Ross? Mike Williams, he's from Clemson. I guess he's as tall as like a basketball player, got a 6-foot wingspan. He's not the fastest out of the three that everyone's been talking about, I guess, but he's ambidextrous, and he's very good at catching the ball in bad situations.
What was
Yeah.
his name again?
It is Mike Williams. He's from Clemson, I believe.
I read about him.
Okay.
Yeah. Big guy, strong guy. I do remember them talking about him in that, he could be a top prospect. I don't know why that the big thing is on Christian McCaffrey. I understand, okay, his dad played for Denver, and they want to keep that tradition going.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at his stats, dude, he barely clears 6 foot, and he's only 200 pounds. Okay.
You wouldn't be able to push very many people back, or?
You're not going to run anybody over.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. The average linebacker in the NFL is 230 to 245 pounds.
Wow.
Okay. They run just as fast, if not faster, than you do.
Yes.
If I was to tell
Legs
Christian
like tree
that.
trunks.
These guys are big, fast, strong linebackers, and they hit hard. They hit hard. It's different in the NFL than it is in college. It's definitely a different step. I don't think Denver should take him in the first round. In fact, I know they won't take him in the first round.
Do you think they'll take him at all?
No.
No?
He's going to get picked up quickly. I would say my assumption is the Detroit Lions. Not only am I a Lions fan, I'm from Detroit,
Okay.
but they're lacking in player ability at the running back position and at kick return and special teams.
Oh, okay. So
That is their guy. He fits somebody like Matthew Stafford perfectly. He's fast. He's strong. They can get the ball to him quickly. he would fit in that system better, in my opinion. I think Denver is going for defense. This is a very defense-heavy draft. If you look at the defensive backs, there's a lot available that are really, really good. I've never seen this many defensive backs, cornerbacks, in a draft heavy like this.
Interesting.
There's a lot of them. I think Denver's going to get a defensive back. If I was John Elway, I would take a defensive back in the first round. Keep the no-fly zone going. I keep Talib. Everybody's like, oh, he had a Pro Bowl year. Okay, he's entering his last year of his 3-year contract.
Yeah.
He's going to turn 32 this year.
Really?
Okay. Last year and this year, it's over. Last year's over.
Yeah.
It's like The Sopranos. Find a new show. It's over. You move on, right? You move forward. It's a new season. Going from age 31 to 32 is almost like 5 years. Or it's like dog years almost.
In the NFL?
In the NFL, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say he gets injured. Okay, Bradley Roby takes over, right?
Yeah.
Who's his backup?
Does he? Does he have one? I don't know. I have no idea.
Who's going to back him up?
No idea.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So
Oh, wait, Kayvon Webster.
no, didn't we get rid of Webster?
Is Webster still with Denver?
I thought he was.
Yeah, he's still signed with Denver.
Who was it that Sylvester Williams? That's who we were talking about last time.
Oh, thank God he's gone. Oh, thank God oh my God, thank God he's gone. He just did not live up to a first round pick. He was pretty disappointing.
Okay.
He got bigger and slower.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get bigger and faster in the NFL, but in his case, he got bigger and slower. But look at our run defense last year. We were ranked 28.
Our defense was?
Run defense.
Oh, run defense. Oh, okay.
So last year,
Yeah,
the year
makes
before,
sense.
we won the Super Bowl. When Denver won the Super Bowl, they were ranked like third in run defense, right? You had Derek Wolfe, you had Sylvester Williams, and then you had Malik Jackson. Malik Jackson was the key. Okay, they controlled that front, but the minute they lost him, they had a revolving door of injuries last year.
Yeah.
But they were relying on Sylvester Williams. He was never really that great.
But
As a
with those
nose
other
tackle.
two, he was a good fit.
He was a fit because Malik Jackson and Derek Wolfe handled all the running.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
were the run stuffers.
Okay, that makes sense.
But now they got rid of him. They brought in this guy from who'd they bring in? They brought that guy in from the Bengals, the free agency, Pacquiao or something like that.
I wouldn't. I'm so bad.
That guy is. We'll see what he can do.
Yeah.
I mean, he did great in Cincinnati, but we'll see what he can do in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always a little hesitant when it comes to bringing in a defensive tackle like that or nose tackle.
Yeah.
But I look at it this way. What do you have to lose? Because I look at the draft. There is nobody. There is nobody to fill that spot in the first, I would say, 50 players.
Okay.
There's a lot.
There's not much for it.
There's just not a lot. There's not a lot out there.
Mm.
Then some people were saying, well, Denver should take that guy from Utah, offensive tackle.
What's his name? I wanted to ask you. Or no, yeah, what is his name?
Let me find that guy. This guy could probably start right away.
You think so they would just throw him into well, I guess it depends on how he does in training, but you feel like they'll just throw him into rotation?
Well, I have a feeling he could start. Here he is, Garrett Boyles.
Garrett Boyle. He's from Utah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pulling him up. My phone is acting up.
It's probably the weather. What is that called?
They have
Chemtrails?
Ryan Ramczyk from Wisconsin, left tackle. He's a big guy. I think he would start right away. But I don't know if Denver needs a left tackle. I thought they got somebody in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett Boyles, yeah, offensive tackle from Utah. He could either be a hit or miss, like they say, but I think he could start right away. But I don't think Denver needs him. I think really what Denver should really focus on, they signed 2 offensive linemen in the offseason. They got the guy who's that guy from Dallas?
I have no idea. Yeah, no, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, so the Denver Broncos, they signed 2 guys in the offseason. And this is why I don't think they're going for an offensive lineman in the draft because Ronald Leary.
Ronald Leary.
Yeah, he's a Pro Bowl offensive lineman, and he's part of the reason why I think that Dak Prescott had a decent season last year, and
Okay.
Ezekiel Elliott was running havoc on defenses.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is a wall, and
Oh,
Denver
okay.
signed him. They got him out of free agency, and they also signed Menelik Watson. Never heard of him, but also another offensive lineman who's going to start right away.
Where'd he come from?
The Raiders.
From Oakland. Damn.
They got him from Oakland. 3-year deal, $18 million.
Wow. Okay. So he's definitely worth.
He's
you say
huge.
he's worth it.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I mean, he's a big, strong tackle. He's going to start right away.
Okay.
I think with Denver, offensive linemen, you got to develop a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they have the time to develop offensive linemen. They need
Experience.
points on the board. We had a horrible offense last year because the offensive linemen sucked. They couldn't even. Every time they did create a hole, Devontae Booker wasn't that bad. He actually got some yardage, but they didn't give him a chance.
I was gonna say, what do you think, or how is Denver's running game? How are we? What's our position right now? Like, how does our run game look? How are our running backs doing?
It all depends on these offensive linemen that we signed. If they adapt to the system, which they will, our running backs are going to be just fine. We got C.J. Anderson when he's healthy, he's a beast. He's a 5'11", or no, he's only 5'8", 225-pound running back.
He's only 5'8".
He's only 5'8", 5'9". He's really not that big or tall, but size wise, he's solid. He's stacked, right?
Yeah.
He's a big, strong guy. You use him in the first 2 quarters to wear down your defense, and then you bring in somebody like Devontae Booker, who's still he's 220. He's a big, strong guy too, but he's fast and elusive, and he's still young. So you have those guys that tandem. You don't need to bring in Christian McCaffrey.
Okay. Yeah.
I really think they need to bring in a good defensive back. And my prediction is Denver is going to take Adoree Jackson from USC.
What position is he?
He's a defensive
he's a
back, but he can
defensive
return.
back.
He can return kicks. He can return punts. To me, he's like the next day Jordan Peterson.
Oh wow. Okay.
This dude's a stud. He
Yeah.
returns interceptions for touchdowns. He's 5'11", 185. Okay, so he's not really big, but he's super fast. His combine speed is 40-yard speed. I think it was like a 4.40.
Wow.
He is unbelievably quick.
Okay. Yeah.
And not a lot of teams are eyeing him, but Denver's eyeing him for a reason because they know Aqib Talib's not going to last forever. Chris Harris is good. He's still young, 27 years old. He's got another 3-4 years left.
Yeah.
But Bradley Roby came into his own. But we really need another rookie to develop at that position. We got to keep that tradition, no-fly zone, to keep it going.
Yeah.
So if Denver doesn't draft a defensive guy in the first round, I really want to know what their strategy is.
Okay. Yeah, that would definitely make sense. Let's keep one of the strongest parts of our defense strong.
Keep it strong.
Yeah.
Keep it going. What do you think, Chris?
I think we need a wetback.
Why? Because they run faster?
Yeah.
Yeah? You think they'll start taking over like they did in baseball?
Unless they build a wall.
The only wall we built was to keep Sanchez out. Sorry, but he wasn't cutting it as
Mark
quarterback.
Sanchez. Oh, when they made that decision, I was like, why? Why even entertain that idea?
The biggest mistake in NFL history is having Mark Sanchez and Tim Tebow on your team. Good job, New York Jets.
Yeah.
Jets.
Or the Broncos, too.
Did we have them on? We never had Mark Sanchez and Tim Tebow on at the same time. I know we've had them separately.
We had it separately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
But-
just made that mistake twice.
But Elway got rid of both mistakes pretty quickly.
Yeah. So wait, okay. So do you think Elway would have been able to develop Tim Tebow, or are you just glad that Tim Tebow's gone?
He can't throw.
Okay.
I know a lot of people out there are going to be pissed off or whatever, but you know what? Nice enough guy, but he's just not an NFL quarterback.
Okay.
I think
the devil.
he's a devil. I think he would have been great as a fullback or
Like a tight end or something.
tight end.
like that?
Yeah, why not?
That's what I thought too. Because I think Denver used him as a tight end at one point.
Well, they asked him.
Very small, yeah.
He said he wants to be an NFL quarterback. This is the way I look at it. They offered you a job
Right.
to be in the NFL.
Right.
It wasn't the job you wanted, so what did he do? He left the NFL to play single A baseball.
Really. Why? I guess.
Because he wants to play professional baseball. He's not even good enough to make it in Double A. He's in Single A.
Oh, okay. So so it goes single A, double A, and then
Triple A.
triple A, and then there's a triple A too?
Yeah.
How far? So he's on the second tier of this ladder. Okay.
Third, I mean, he's on the work. I mean,
there's the major league, and then there's 3 under.
Okay. And then
there's 3 under. He's yeah.
Why? That is such a terrible decision. That is he could have been a decent tight end. That's so weird.
He's basically on the lowest end of the shitter in the entire sport of baseball.
Yeah.
Because there's high school kids that actually advance much faster.
Wow. Did he play baseball in college? Do you know?
Supposedly he played in high school. In college, he just played football.
Okay.
But this is what people need to understand. Football in college and the NFL are almost 2 different sports.
You're right.
Because how can a star college quarterback, they say, oh, one of the best college quarterbacks or college players of all time, goes to the NFL and never progresses into anything.
Makes anything of it? Oh.
I mean, he never got his footing down. He never got the mechanics of throwing the ball.
Yeah, no, I mean, he had that one game or a few games, but other than that, he just kind of fell apart.
Yeah. And he had great receivers.
Yeah, right. I have to use the bathroom really quick.
Okay.
Just go ahead and keep talking, guys.
I mean, what do you think, Chris? You think Denver's going to take defense in the first round? Another big. It seems like so Denver took in the last 2 drafts. They took Shane Ray.
Right.
They took Shane Ray, and who else did they take, defense wise? Bradley Roby
Right.
in the first round.
Yeah.
And so far, they played. They're playing up to capacity, to their true potential. Shane Ray's definitely going to be starting this year.
Right. Yeah. I think they'll bolster the defense in
Well, we got safeties for the future. We got Will Parks, Justin Simmons from last year. And those guys were beasts. They play. I thought they played well. You got Shane Ray. You got Shaq Barrett on the one side. You got Von Miller. So you got the rotating outside linebackers. You got the inside linebackers. Not exactly, I would say, the strongest. I think Brandon Marshall had focused on the game rather than taking a knee during the national anthem. He probably would have had a better season. I think he meant it in a good way, not trying to draw attention, but he ended up standing up. But then there was his buddy over there, Todd Davis. Little undersized for an inside linebacker, but that's the way Denver designed their defense. You have 2 pretty much blown up strong safeties playing inside linebacker positions. Then you put your strong, outside linebackers to keep rushing the quarterback. I get it. That's a good strategy.
Which Brandon Marshall are we talking about? Are we talking about the wide receiver or the Brandon Marshall on Denver again?
The Brandon Marshall on Denver. I thought he had a so-so season. I think he played with injuries.
Okay.
That knee injury, sitting on the knee a lot, that doesn't help.
That Marshall's the defensive player, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I remember getting confused. I was like, didn't Marshall leave Denver a while ago?
This was the guy that he was on his knee during the national anthem, and
oh, okay.
That's fine, if that's what you want to do, that's your own prerogative,
Free country.
Free country, but focus on the game. Don't focus on, political views and your own personal views. This is a fucking sport, dude.
Right.
Just get out there and play the fucking game. Now, outside of football, if you want to, make your voice be heard, go do it. We'll back you up. But when you're on that goddamn field, that's fucking football. Play the fucking game, because you know what? He wasn't. His head wasn't in the game. Our run defense was shitty. It was so shitty last year. Number 28. How do you go from number 2 to number 20 or number 3 to 28 in run defense?
Overinflated egos?
Right.
Yeah.
Sylvester Williams, big and fat, doesn't know how to fucking stop anybody. You got injuries. I get the injuries on that one side.
Yeah.
But then you got this guy kneeing all the time, and then he gets hurt. It's the most frustrating thing you could ever see, because as somebody who's watching the game, It's like, how could you go from one of the best to the worst
Yeah.
over one season?
Your head's just not in the game.
You know what? Let's draft somebody. Let's draft somebody in your position, and we'll see how much better you play. That's how you got to do it. You got to get. That's how you get these guys motivated. What if Denver took a quarterback in the first round? Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Oh my God.
They wouldn't do that.
No.
I'd laugh my ass off if they did. I'd be like, they don't have any faith in it. Neither one of those guys.
They don't want to. Yeah, they don't want to stick around. Do you know?
Excuse me.
Do you know how any of the teams in our division are looking right now? Like the Pats, Raiders, the Chargers, Chiefs. What they're kind of doing? Do you know anything?
I think the Chargers are going to have the worst season ever.
Why? I hope they do, but why?
A lot of instability in the organization. When you're leaving, your fans are gonna, you're moving, right? You're going to be the LA Chargers.
Oh, that's right. They're not in San Diego anymore, huh? When did that happen in this off season?
Yeah, they're moving, and they're
Okay.
moving to a stadium where there's only 30,000 people.
Wow.
They're going to charge more for the tickets
Ugh.
because they want an intimate setting.
I don't like that.
What do you think this is, fucking Broadway?
Right?
This is fucking football. Okay, you're supposed to have chaos and loud people and beer and people going nuts and rooting for their team.
It's our Coliseum.
30,000. You're cutting attendance in half, but you're going to raise the ticket prices.
It's not good. That would definitely piss me off.
I don't see them really filling up that stadium. Not only because you have the LA Rams. Why go watch the Chargers? You can watch the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of instability going on. So I don't really see them. They lost their head coach. They're getting, they got a new head coach.
The Chargers did?
Yeah.
What's his name?
What was that? Was it Adam Gase?
I think so.
So Denver Broncos hired the coach from the Chargers as their offensive coordinator.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's a pretty interesting thing. Is the old Chargers coach, is he known to be a decent offensive type of person? Was he ever a offensive coordinator before?
Actually, no. Adam Gase is in Miami. Who is the guy that they... Mike McCoy. I'm sorry.
Mike McCoy.
So Mike McCoy was the Broncos offensive coordinator, right?
Okay.
He's the one that designed the playbook for Peyton Manning the year that they had the most points ever in the NFL or whatever. That was in 2013 season?
I think so, yeah.
Well, he got hired off to the Chargers. He had some mediocre seasons, showed some poise, some promise, and then they fired him last season. Now Denver has brought him back as the offensive coordinator.
Interesting. That'll be nice to see an offensive person like that. See what he does with our quarterbacks now.
Offensive coordinators turn coaches. Sometimes it's hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they just don't understand defense and they hire the wrong personnel, and that's what happened.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I don't think the Chargers are going to do shit. I think they're going to be 1-15. They're going to suck.
I can't stand Phillip Rivers.
This
Oh,
will be his last season.
I like
Oh,
his
wow.
bolo ties.
Like, what?
His bolo ties.
His bow ties?
Bolo. Like Cowboys one.
With the strings?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh god, that's got to be a terrible look.
Yeah.
So, a little skull on the bottom of it.
Right.
Oh man, those things are terrible.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, no, I'm not I can't stand the New England Patriots. I can't stand the New England Patriots more than I don't like the Oakland Raiders as a Broncos fan, because they're I don't know, like we were talking earlier, Tom Brady, he is a fantastic quarterback. Not one of the best, or not the best, but he's one of the best quarterbacks I think the NFL has ever seen, that's for sure. And they always just, I feel like they play Moneyball, but they always get really good players, and they're just such a damn good team, I think.
They have a good system in place for development.
Oh, okay, that would make sense.
They develop players.
Mm-hmm. And then
The 2014, was it 2014? Yeah, 2014 New England Patriots that beat the Seattle Seahawks, which they should have won
in
that game.
Super Bowl,
Yeah, that was...
Man.
Coach Pete Carroll should have just let the beast run the damn ball in.
Right?
Run all over them all game.
Why do you throw when you have someone like that?
Oh my gosh, what a stupid stupid. Of course, the quarterback, Russell Wilson. Well, I don't question his play calling. I do. Fuck, they just lost the goddamn game, stupid. What do you mean you don't question it? would have been furious.
Would you have thrown that ball?
No.
No, as a
Run
no.
it.
If you were a quarterback and the coach says, "Frankie, I need you to throw this ball," and you think it's the worst idea ever,
I would have said, what wins championships? The defense and the running game. Enough said.
you would have just gone out there
Run
and
the ball in.
Oh man, Whew. Yeah.
I'd rather get benched than
Yeah.
and take a second Super Bowl than
Even if Wilson would have run
would have been better
it, you
off.
know.
I like his running game. I like Russell Wilson's
Yeah.
running game. I'm really glad that Denver was able to shut down Carolina. And oh god, what's his name? Who's their quarterback's
Cam
name?
Newton.
Yeah, Cam Newton. Thank you. They just shut his running game down, and that was fantastic. And he got extremely frustrated really quick.
That's all you got to do with him. He doesn't have it up here mentally.
Yeah,
He's just he's a crybaby.
once you can throw him off enough,
He's a crybaby.
yeah.
He's a crybaby.
I mean, I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. He's, obviously he helped his team make it to the Super Bowl. And they did fantastic that season, right? They only lost
Well, against shitty teams.
One.
Oh, okay.
They played two teams with a winning record. Green
Okay,
Bay
so that makes a little more
Packers
sense.
and the Vikings in the regular season.
Oh, okay. Those are
Everybody,
really hard
yeah,
games.
everybody else was just horrible.
Um,
I mean, if you look at the stats, it's like mind-boggling. It was like the NFL wanted them to go to the Super Bowl to have a new team win the title. It's almost like it was orchestrated that way
okay.
because of their simple schedule.
Yeah.
But when it came down to it, they played a team like Denver who were 12-4 in that regular season, and they had the hardest schedule in the NFL that year.
Interesting. Do the way they set up schedules? Do you know, like certain teams they'll set up harder schedules compared to other teams, or is it kind of all just random?
Well, I think it's half and half. I think what they do, and the owners have a lot to say in scheduling.
Okay.
So, like this year, the Broncos are going to be playing the NFC East, right? So it changes, it swaps every year. Like the Oakland Raiders will play the NFC South. So not only do you have 2 games in your own division,
One.
which is 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 8 games in your own division, right? Because they'll play the Broncos twice, they'll play the Chargers twice, they'll play the Chiefs twice, right? Or 6 games, right? So there's 6 games in your division, no matter what, right? Each
Okay.
team does that, but they're also given a set of divisions that they got to play. So this year, the Broncos, it's going to be NFC East. They're going to play, the Giants. They're going to be playing the Jets.
I didn't know it worked like that.
Yeah,
One. No. They'll play the Giants, the Cowboys, the Redskins, and who else in that division? The Eagles.
and the Eagles.
The Eagles. Oh,
So
okay.
some of the, and they kind of place them, like they play NFC teams, but they play them in, certain ones from certain divisions.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. No. That
And
makes
then
sense.
the other AFC team is where you place in your division. Like the first place team plays the first place team.
Okay.
The
The
other,
opposite division?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
So
All right.
it's how they do the scheduling.
Yeah.
But the Broncos that year that they went 12-4 just so happened to play a lot of good teams
Yeah.
and beat a lot of good teams, and that's what made them better.
I think if what do you call it? Like you were saying earlier, let's keep with the tradition of the no-fly zone and developing our defense and obviously trying to draft players that'll help our offense out and stuff like that. I think Denver can continue to be a contending football team with the right coaching and right mindset. Obviously, that's
Well,
how
we
it
got
works,
a
but-
new coach this year, right? We got Vance Joseph. You got
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, you got a new coach.
Okay.
You got so you got the new coach. You got a new defensive coordinator. They didn't renew Wade Phillips' contract. He's now gone.
Interesting.
They have the defensive back coach. What was his name? Rhodes. What's that guy's name? Let me pull that guy up. The Broncos' new defensive coordinator is, and supposedly he has a lot to do with the no-fly zone, and that's why I think they're going to take a defensive back in the draft.
Okay. That would make a little more sense then. See, yeah, you have a good information in on this.
Let's see here. What is this guy's name? He's basically it was a promotion. Joe Woods. I'm sorry.
Joe Woods.
Yeah, Joe Woods, young guy. I think I think he'll be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping everything intact with what's going on. He'll put the scheme in place. I don't think they'll change too much.
Okay.
But this draft would determine what direction the Broncos are going with the new coach, new coordinator, new coordinators. You got Mike McCoy, So you basically got your three main coaches are new.
Mm-hmm.
Head coach, offensive, defensive coordinator, right? Both new.
So is this season, do you think it's going to be like a real testing type of season? Like we're going to kind of...
The draft is going to determine what direction this team's
Okay,
going.
yeah, that's what you just said.
So, I also think they could take O.J. Griffin from Alabama's a tight end. Jeff Hireman and Virgil Green's a great blocking tight end, but I know they want a playmaker. They want somebody that can, they want a Gronkowski. They want a guy that can go out there and catch as many passes as the receivers, right?
Yeah.
They want that kind of. Well, I think that's what Kubiak wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the new coach, if that's what he's looking for. It is a very heavy tight end draft heavy. I would say defensive and offense, it's a lot of tight ends available.
Okay.
But there's a lot of defensive back available. But does that could also mean that Denver takes, in the first round, let's say they do take an offensive tackle. I guarantee you they'll take a defensive back in the second.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you have a draft heavy at that player category, sometimes teams they can draft heavy in the second, third round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I've always felt like having a good tight end who's as good as your wide receivers it definitely helps. Because like you were saying with Gronkowski, New England wins a lot of games, especially with him. He's one of their best players, but I've always liked the tight end position, that's for sure.
Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, or Shannon Sharp.
He got the most passes from LA.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That would make sense, yeah. I always like Shannon Sharp, too.
You know what none of us have talked about is Leonard for